Yo, what's up? It's Marwin, Food Fidelity. Today I'm making a recipe for beans and rice, kind of like red beans and rice, but substituting white beans for red beans. A little different flavor, a little different texture, but same recipe format and approach. Starting with some andouille sausage. I'm going to render some fat from the sausage and then remove the sausage to begin working on my holy trinity vegetables that I'm going to saute in that rendered fat. Right, so you want to brown the sausage maybe 1 or 2 minutes. Just get a nice amount of fat left in the bottom of the pot. You don't have to cook it fully because it's already kind of semi-cooked, so you're good that one. I got some diced onions I'm going to add to the mix as part of my holy trinity, along with some celery, which I want to saute first, the celery and the onions. Eventually I'm going to add in my bell peppers. For me, I'm using like a kind of a tricolor mix of bell peppers, just for the color. It's the same thing. If you want to use traditional green peppers, that's fine. I season as I go with like a Creole spice mix that I made on my own, and then add some garlic. Don't want to cook this too long. Garlic is a little delicate, so you only need about 30 seconds or so of cooking for those flavors to start to release. And I'm going to add some herbs. I got fresh thyme, got some fresh sage, and then I'm going to add my bay leaves. And I got the workings of a really good flavor base, right? If you're wondering, my spice mix is smoked paprika, salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, dried thyme. I got some smoked Ham Hocks that I'm going to add. It's going to, really flavor my stock. My white beans I'm using, these were soaked overnight. Then I'm going to use equal parts water and chicken stock as my liquid base to make that enriched stock with the Ham Hocks. And so I want to make sure I have enough liquid to cover the beans fully, about maybe like half or an inch. And as I said before, I'm going to continue seasoning as I go. So I got layers of flavor in here, and I'm going to add my dry seasoning mix at the beginning, somewhere in the middle, and closer to the end, just so I have like layers of flavor. So now that I got all my ingredients in the pot, I'm going to bring the pot to a boil. I forgot to add my andouille sausage back to the pot. That's really key. You want to make sure you definitely add that into the mix. So now I'm good to go. I'm going to bring everything to a boil and then simmer the mix covered for a long time, a couple of hours. The length of time that you cook this is really going to depend on like how creamy you want your beans, or just really like what kind of texture you want. If you want really, really creamy, you can let them cook longer. If you want like more textured thing going with the beans, you want to cook them less. So, but anyway, it's going to be at least well over an hour. And as you can see, as these cook, they get more and more creamier. The beans tend to like break down a little bit. If you want to speed this up, you can literally take like a side of a big wooden spoon and smash some of the beans and add them back for a little more thickness. I just like to let mine cook a little longer and let them break down naturally. So I'm removing the Ham Hocks, and I'm going to take the meat off the bone, discarding the fat. I only want the meat, like the meaty portion. So like the bone and the fat, we're going to get rid of that, and then add the meaty portions back into the pot along with the andouille sausage and the creamy beans. And so you really have this rustic, filling, tasty, comforting, soulful bowl pot of beans. And obviously we can add the rice to make it, to round it out, and we get our red beans and rice, I should say, not red beans and rice. But yeah, similar vibe. White beans, use navy beans, use cannellini beans. Even if you got like lima beans, you can use or butter beans, like smaller ones, right? But for me, the creamier the better, and that's how I'm serving mine up. You see these are pretty thick. They're gonna stick to my ribs like Grandma used to make them. So that's the dish. There was nothing, really to it. It's really about like kind of getting all of those ingredients in up front, and then just letting time and temperature do its thing, right? You need a lot of patience, right? Because it's gonna take a while. So that's the dish. I think you're gonna love this one as usual. If you like it, give a thumbs up, but most importantly, don't forget to hit that red subscribe button and get new recipe updates weekly right in your inbox when I post new content. Thanks for vibing with me. Peace out.